Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, temperatures on this Tuesday morning pretty uniform across the Northeast region here. Most folks in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. We've got a stationary boundary, though. It's easier to pick out across the Dakotas into the upper Midwest. But it does extend off into our region. That's been the focus for shower and storm development over the overnight hours. Again, from the northeast, stretching all the way back into parts of the Midwest. Again, a very stormy, loud overnight from parts of the upper Midwest all the way into the northeast region. As we check in with the satellite picture, with the radar, you can see that broken line of thunderstorms again, just from parts of central Wisconsin all the way into Maine, with thunderstorm activity fading as you head off to the south across New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, and Pennsylvania. Over the last 72 hours, we've seen scattered thunderstorm activity across generally the entire Northeast, from Pennsylvania all the way into the state of Maine. We've got one little corridor here with some pretty widespread dryness, but other areas, some hit or miss thunderstorm activity over the last several days. And we're going to continue that while we add in some more significant rainfall chances to the central U.S. here. We've got Laura making its way up from the Gulf Coast as we head into the late part of the week, into the weekend. And we've also got a couple of frontal boundaries that will be making their way through the Corn Belt into the Northeast. And we'll talk about those here through this video. Now, over the next several days, we're going to be talking about heat underneath the ridge here. We've got heat advisories in place across the Dakotas into parts of the upper Midwest. We've got that heat extending at times into the Northeast as we head through the next 5 days. But then, again, cooler conditions associated with troughing there, and it's along that line that we'll see thunderstorm activity popping up here periodically over the next several days. As such, we do have a slight risk for severe storms with an enhanced risk across parts of southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and that enhanced risk today from the Storm Prediction Center, a slight risk in the yellow shaded area from the entire state of Pennsylvania into eastern New York, southern half of New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. As we head into the day on Wednesday, here's Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we've got Thursday, a little bit of a quieter day tomorrow, that slight risk off to the west, parts of western New York, western Pennsylvania. And then as we head into Thursday, a slight risk reintroduced across a wider chunk of the Northeast from Pennsylvania, New York, eastward into the Atlantic. We also have Laura to talk about. Laura will be making its way into southern portions of the Northeast region, or at least nearby as we head into the weekend, late Saturday into Sunday. Laura now expected to make landfall across the Texas-Louisiana border on Wednesday night as a major Category 3 or higher hurricane. Now, as we look at the upper level pattern, we've got this broad ridge with a trough across the Hudson Bay here. So ridging across the central U.S., that ridge kind of anchored across the Rockies, flow coming up and over the top of that, bringing thunderstorm activity to parts of the Midwest and the Dakotas here over the last several days, and then a wave rotating around the base of that trough here, bringing that chance for stronger thunderstorms to parts of the Northeast region later on today. So flow coming up and over the top of that ridge, rounding the base of the trough across the Hudson Bay. It's leading to periods of active weather here across the Northeast. That's going to continue to be the theme as we head through the next several days. Again, here comes this wave rotating around during the day today. Those strong jet stream winds blasting into the Northeast. That's what helps give the upper level support needed to take some of those thunderstorms and bring them to severe levels and give them a little bit more longevity. And again, we're going to continue to keep that flow across the region as we head into the later part of the week. Here's the wave that comes in on Thursday, bringing that next chance for more organized severe storms, widespread in nature across the Northeast region. And then as we head deeper into the weekend, here comes Laura, making her way up here and curving off to the east as we get into the later part of the weekend, and then flow continuing to round that base of that trough, keeping organized thunderstorm activity in the forecast as we head deep into the weekend. So the high-resolution NAM model over the next several days, again, as we head into the afternoon and evening hours today, watching for scattered thunderstorms to develop across generally the entire Northeast region. Now, not everyone's going to get them, but the chance for those scattered storms expands across the entire Northeast, and there is the chance that those storms could become severe with gusty winds and large hail, an isolated tornado not impossible. Now, as we head into the overnight, we'll be quiet for much of the Northeast region, and then the thunderstorm activity going to be favored across western portions of the Northeast as thunderstorm clusters rotate again around the axis of high pressure here out to the west around that ridge, and then again impacting parts of the eastern Corn Belt into western portions of the Northeast. This again, that thunderstorm activity on Wednesday. You can see maybe one cluster here early in the afternoon on Wednesday, another cluster or two possible as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. The high resolution NAM model simply not going to get this exactly right with such a detailed and nuanced forecast here, but it gets the pattern. It often gets the storm mode right, and then we see here as we get into Thursday, that chance as early as Wednesday night into early Thursday, but looking for the chance for several clusters of thunderstorms across the Northeast region as we head into late Wednesday into the day on Thursday. Total precipitation, just raw from the NAM model. Again, it's not going to be exactly right, but you see the scattered nature to the precipitation here over the next 2.5 days from those clusters and scattered thunderstorms and some thunderstorm activity across the region. We'll take a little bit of a step back, a longer range look from the European model here, just watching some of these different features come together. Again, we've got the upper level trough here that's kind of feeding thunderstorm activity right now. We'll eventually have Laura making its way up, and then we've also got this frontal boundary slowly making its way in as we get into the end of the week. So let's go ahead and watch this one. We'll head into the afternoon and evening hours watching for scattered thunderstorms across the Northeast. A few of those could be severe today. Quiet overnight, quiet for much of the Northeast on Wednesday. Just looking for thunderstorm chances across western portions of the Northeast region. Western Pennsylvania, far western New York could see a severe storm. Wednesday night, though, thunderstorm activity moves back into the Northeast region. A slight risk for severe storms across almost the entire Northeast as we head into Thursday afternoon and evening. We'll take this deeper into Friday. Now we're going to see a series of little waves moving along that frontal boundary, along with Laura making its way in here as we get into the weekend. So widespread thunderstorm chances again on Saturday, potentially lingering into Sunday across parts of the Northeast region. So as we head through the next 5 days, or the next 4 days, taking it through the end of the work week, we're looking at the probability of picking up a half an inch or more of rainfall. So here is through Friday on the left, and then this is the next 7 days. We'll just write this here. So as you look at the next 3 days, the next 4 days, taking it through the end of the week, scattered areas looking at that chance for some locally heavy rainfall, but as we take it through the next 7 days, getting the weekend into early next week, a couple of those storm systems moving through the area, much more widespread chance, much more widespread opportunities to pick up that half an inch or locally higher. So temperatures, we'll finish with a look at those. We're watching the heat begin to shift off to the east with excessive heat possible at times across the Northeast, especially across the state of Pennsylvania into New Jersey. Here as we get into the end of the week, as we get into kind of late Thursday into Friday, the core of that heat will be kind of stretched here from Iowa and Illinois east across the eastern Corn Belt into Pennsylvania and New Jersey before it finally begins to fade slightly as we head into the weekend and early next week, at least resetting back to more seasonally appropriate levels. We'll finish with a look at your high temperatures today. 70s in the north, upper 80s to the lower 90s across the south. Again, this is where that enhanced risk for severe weather is, generally in this area. That's where I'm most concerned about a more volatile environment producing some significant wind gusts, some large hail, and maybe even a tornado or two. As we head into the day on Wednesday, much cooler across the Northeast, 60s for many folks. It's going to be across western Pennsylvania and western New York, where we're in the mid-80s, and we continue to have that chance for thunderstorm clusters coming down from the Great Lakes. Warming back up as we head into Thursday and Friday. Looks like the heat will peak Thursday afternoon with 90s possible from Pennsylvania into New Jersey. Slowly starting to fade as we head into the weekend, with most folks, by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, spending their day in the 70s.